Good morning, children. Good morning, beta. Yes, we had done with enzymes and we had started with a new topic, vectors. I don't know how many of you were present for the class yesterday, but those who were present must be aware that we had started with which topic?
Vectors.
There are certain characteristics which an organism needs to have, only then it can act as a vector. What was the first characteristic we had done? Able to?
Replicate.
Yes, replicate. And it will be able to replicate only if it has this site. What was this site?
Ori site.
Ori site, origin of replication. That means the site where replication process starts. Okay, this process. Supposing we introduce insulin producing genes into E. coli with the help of a vector, we have used plasmid as a vector. So the plasmid should have the ability to replicate. It should have its own site where replication process can start. So first most important thing which vectors should have is Ori site. Second was ROP. This also I had discussed. What is ROP?
Replicate. Protein for replicate. Protein for
Protein to
replication.
replicate. Excellent. ROP, protein of replication. This is also very important. Okay. This protein of replication is very important. Why is it so important? Because it binds with which site?
Ori site. Ori site.
And why do we need to have this protein binding with the Ori site? So that which enzyme can identify it?
DNA polymerase.
DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase will be able to identify the Ori site only if which protein is attached to it?
Protein of replication.
Yes, this protein for replication is attached to it. Next, beta. They should have at least one selectable marker. This I was explaining when the class got over yesterday. You use markers in your notes and your books to highlight something, to immediately identify something. You use markers in your books, highlighters or markers.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you use these highlighters or markers? So that you can immediately identify whenever you open a page, you can immediately identify that important part of the page. So basically, markers are used for identification. What are they used for?
Identification.
So here also we need to have at least one marker. What is the marker going to do? Supposing you have inserted a desired gene with the help of a vector. The vector has taken that gene inside, but we need to find out whether the gene has actually reached and the effect is coming in the organism or not. So who is going to tell us? This marker. It will help us to identify whether the gene has reached inside or not. I gave you 2 examples. Number 1, antibiotic resistant gene. You can use this as a marker. If you insert this gene into an organism and the organism becomes resistant to antibiotic, that means the gene has entered. It's a marker identified. Another marker which can be used is an enzyme producing gene. You can introduce a gene which produces enzyme. Normally in biotechnology, the gene which is used, I'm talking about the gene which produces enzyme, is LAC-Z gene. What is the name of the gene?
LAC-Z gene.
Yes. This produces or this synthesizes an enzyme beta-galactosidase. Name the enzyme produced?
Beta-galactosidase.
So now it is very simple. I will introduce LAC-Z gene. And after a few hours, a few days, I'll check out whether this enzyme is present in the host or not. If this enzyme is present in the host, that means my gene has entered. I'll be able to identify. So these are selectable markers. Only one marker is sufficient. Selectable, any one selectable marker you have to use. Generally, the 2 selectable markers which are used are number 1, antibiotic resistant gene, and which is the second one?
Enzyme producing gene. Enzyme producing.
Lactate. Which is the most commonly enzyme producing gene used in biotechnology?
Lactate gene.
Good. And which enzyme does it synthesize?
Big galactosidase. Beta galactosidase.
Fine. So what are these markers helping us to do? These markers help us to identify if the desired gene is introduced into the host or not. What was the first characteristic of vectors I discussed yesterday? Those who were present in the class must know or must be remembering. Tell me. First
They should be
characteristic,
able to replicate.
it should be able to,
Replication.
and it will be able to replicate only if it has which site?
Ori.
Good. What was the second feature we did?
ROP replication.
Yes, protein of replication,
Protein
because
of
this protein of replication goes and binds to which site?
Ori site.
Okay, so that which enzyme can identify the site now?
DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase.
And what is the third thing which is needed for a vector? At least?
Selectable marker.
Yes.
Selectable marker.
Which are the two most common markers which are used in biotechnology? Number one is which resistance gene?
Antibiotic resistant.
Supposing you take a tetracycline resistant gene and you introduce it, and then you test the same host for tetracycline antibiotic, and you find that, okay, this host has now become immune, it has become resistant to this gene. So this antibiotic, that means the gene has got inside. Which is the second kind of marker generally used in biotechnology, most commonly used? Which gene?
Enzyme producing gene. Enzyme producing gene.
And what was the name of this one? The gene which we do use?
Lactate gene.
Lactate. What enzyme it produces?
Beta galactosidase. Beta galactosidase.
So once you insert this gene, check out if this enzyme is being produced. If this enzyme is being produced, that means the gene has entered. So one thing very clear to all, that these markers help us to identify whether the desired gene is introduced in the host or not. You have put it, but has it actually reached and is it functional or not? These markers will help you. Now, fourth thing which a vector should have is a restriction site. What is this word, children?
Restriction site.
Restriction site. We should be able to cut the vector at a particular. Now, what is a restriction site? A site or a place where a vector can be cut with the help of endonucleases. What is a restriction site? It is the place where which enzyme can cut?
Endonuclease.
Yes, endonucleases can cut. And if you remember, when we did the cutting of endonuclease, we said they always cut between two specific things. When I gave you examples, I gave you either they're cutting between 80 or when I was doing palindromes with you, I told you either they will cut between 80 or they'll cut between AG. We have different endonucleases, and each of them has its own site where they cut. So we need to have at least one site where endonuclease can cut. And what is this site known as? Restriction site. So I put an arrow and tried to tell you what is a restriction site, a place where endonuclease cuts. But children, remember one very important thing, that suitable vector should have only one restriction site. We should ensure when we are selecting a vector that it should have how many restriction sites?
One.
Only one. So the question arises, why not more? Why not we have more? I tried to explain it with you. So this is a vector and I've got one, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 restriction sites over here. What happened now? I'll take an endonuclease and it'll start cutting. It'll cut here, it'll cut here, 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 here. What will happen? This entire vector will cut into small pieces. When it gets cut into small pieces, what all is lost? This ORI site may get damaged, number one. The ROP protein may get cut or damaged, number two. Your selectable markers may get destroyed, number three. So it is never ever wise to take up a vector which has so many common endonuclease sites. Common endonuclease means where the same endonuclease can cut. Okay, common endonuclease. You should have only one. And if you have so many sites, they should all be different. This should be different from this should be different from this. None of them should be the same. Because if they're same, then the same endonuclease will start cutting them. So what is a restriction site? A place where who cuts?
Endonuclease.
Yes. And it is always wise to have how many restriction sites?
One.
Yes. So that endonuclease can cut only at one part. See this beta. Why not more? If many restriction sites, then vector will be cut into small pieces. Your ORI site will get damaged. Your gene of interest will also get destroyed. So we prefer that it should have only one restriction site, so that the endonuclease can cut over here and you can get a linear DNA and you can insert your desired gene. Do you remember we did this yesterday? We cut a plasmid and we get a linear one and we get a desired gene. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So we need to have one restriction site. It's always better. So if you have one restriction site over here, endonuclease will cut from here. Your circular DNA will become a linear DNA. And in a linear DNA, it's always easier to insert a foreign or desired gene. And the last characteristic of vector is it should be small in size, because it is always easier to handle which vectors?
Small vectors. Small
Small
vectors.
That is why after inserting the desired gene, we again convert it and make it circular with the help of which enzyme?
Polymerases.
Phosphatases.
Phosphatases.
Not alkaline. Phosphatases. These are 5 characteristics of vectors. Vector could be a DNA, it could be an RNA, it could be a nucleic acid. It is something which can go and replicate inside the host cell. It will go and replicate, then the gene of interest will also replicate. So how many characteristics should a good vector have?
5.
If I give you 5, 6 vectors and I say, okay, select which one will be the most suitable vector for this experiment. So you will check one by one on all the 5 parameters. Which is the first thing that it should have that you'll check?
It should be able to replicate.
Very good. It should be able to replicate. And how will you ensure that yes, it is able to replicate? By checking which sites?
ORI site. ORI site.
What does the word ORI mean?
Origin.
Origin of replication.
Replication.
So it should have an ORI site. Why is ORI site so important?
Replication starts at ORI site.
Yes, beta. Replication starts here. When I say replication, it means multiple copies of the gene. So replication starts over here only. That is very important. What is the second characteristic which vector should have?
Protein for application. Protein for application.
Very good. What do we call them in short?
ROP.
ROPs. Tell me quickly why ROPs are important. ROPs go and bind with
ORI site.
ORI site. And why do they do this? Why do they go and bind with the ORI sites?
So that enzyme DNA polymerase can identify.
So that the enzyme DNA polymerase can identify. What is this enzyme basically used for? Why is this enzyme so important? That so that it can identify we are adding a protein only. Why is this enzyme so important, children? Because it helps in the process of
Replication.
It helps in the process of replication. That is why this enzyme is very important. Okay. Third characteristic of a vector.
Selectable markers.
Selectable markers. Selectable marker will tell you, it will help you to identify that whatever insert you have put or whatever foreign gene you had inserted, has it reached the host properly? Is it functioning inside the host or not? There are 2 common selectable markers used in biotechnology. Which is the first one?
Antibiotic
resistant.
What producing gene is it, the second marker?
Enzyme producing.
enzyme producing.
Yes, it is the enzyme producing gene. Can we have the name of the gene which is commonly used?
Lexergene.
Lactazine. And it helps to produce which enzyme?
Beta glucosidase.
Beta galactosidase. Which is the fourth characteristic which we need of an enzyme? A vector, sorry.
Restriction site.
Restriction site. Restriction site is the site where what cuts?
Endonuclease.
Yes. And why do we need to cut? Because you all know that we have to put a foreign gene or a gene of interest has to be inserted. How many restriction sites are preferred?
One.
One.
One. It's always preferred that we have one restriction site, especially when we have different, when we have the same kind of bases all over, it's always better. What will happen if we have many restriction sites? What will the endonuclease do? At how many places will it cut? See, beta, if you have many restriction sites, endonuclease will cut at many places. So you'll get small, small pieces. Your ORI site may get destroyed. Your ROP may get destroyed. So we prefer to have only one out of it, restriction site. Here, one is preferred so that here it can cut. And which is the fifth one?
Small in size. Small in size.
Very good. It should be small in size. And why should it be small in size?
Because it is easy to handle small vector.
Okay, fine. Now I'm giving you one vector. This is very important from examination point of view. Fine. PBR 322. This is the first artificial cloning plasmid that we have prepared. The name of the vector is PBR 322. Just go through this, see the structure. Let me explain it to you. This is very important from examination point of view. What is the name of the vector which I've shared on your screen?
PBR322.
Okay. Everybody needs to remember the name of the vector is PBR322. Now, the name comes how? This P stands for plasmid. This word P. This has come from the word?
Plasmid.
Yes. And then B and R are the first letters of the name of the scientist who prepared it. B stands for Bolivar and R is Rodrigues. So P is what?
Plasmid.
B stands for Bolivar and R is Rodrigues, the name of the people who made it. And 322 is the code which was given by the Federation of Biotechnology to this vector. 322 was the code given to this plasmid. Remember, this was the first artificial cloning plasmid. It was the first artificially prepared plasmid. Normally, you take that circular DNA from prokaryotes, but this is first artificially prepared vector. But it is very interesting to find that when we prepared it artificially, this PBR had many restriction sites. Let's count. You will find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 restriction sites. How many restriction sites are there in PBR 322?
8.
Yes. We have 8 restriction sites. We have got 2 antibiotic resistant genes. Why have we put antibiotic resistant genes? Which quality or which characteristic of vector are we fulfilling by putting these genes?
Selectable mark.
Very good. Very good. So we put 2 antibiotic resistant genes. Which 2 antibiotic resistant genes? If you can see in the figure, ampicillin and tetracycline. Which 2 antibiotic resistance? Ampicillin and tetracycline. Name the antibiotics.
Ampicillin and tetracycline.
So your characteristic is fulfilled that yes, we should have selectable markers. Can you see ROP? See in the center, can you see ROP, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And can we see the ORA site?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have all the things we need and it is small in size because the shape is what?
Circular.
Circular. So it is small in size. So all the 5 characteristics we have, only one change is there in what we had read and what we are seeing in this artificial vector. Tell me, what is the only difference that we find in PBR 322?
Restriction sites.
Very
Four
good. I
restriction-
told you, excellent. I told you that we should have one restriction site. That's all better. So that endonuclease can cut at only 1 point. But here we have got how many restriction sites?
8.
Okay. Now, one by one, let's quickly revise about PBR 322. What does P stand for?
Plasmid.
Yes. What does B and R, what do they represent?
Bolivar
Name
and
of
Rodrigues.
Yes, the scientist who prepared it. B stands for?
Bolivar.
Yes. And R stands for?
Rodrigues.
Yes, please. Answer all. And 322 is what? What does this figure 322 number tell you?
Code given to plasmid.
Code given to
So if a 1 marker question comes, which was the first artificial cloning plasmid? What is the name?
PBR 322.
PBR 322.
322. Now let us talk about the composition of PBR 322. It has how many restriction sites?
8.
8.
How many antibiotic resistant genes?
2.
2. Name the 2 antibiotic resistant genes. Which ones?
Ampicillin and tetracycline.
Yes. How many ORA sites?
1.
1. And we have how many? We've got an ROP. Can you see the ROP?
Yes, ma'am.
What about the size?
Circular.
Yes, size is circular. That means it is big
Small
or it is
circular.
small? Small circular. We always said smaller are always easier to handle. So that is why this plasmid, which was prepared artificially, normally we used to use plasmids from E. coli, if you remember. So this is the first artificial one. But the diagram is very important. Everything about this plasmid is very important. Now we need to learn this. How we are going to learn this? You have to make your own some Hindi sentence or something to remember this. These are the sites. You have to learn the name of the site. CLA1, HIN3, BAM H1, SAL1, PVU3, PST1, PVU1, and ECO R1. Is there any two sites which are similar? Please see all the 8. CLA, HIN3, BAM, SAL, PVU, PST, PVU. This is PVU1. And this is PVU 2. So they are not same. ECO R1 and CLA1. So you will find that we have got 8 restriction endonuclease site, but we said we should have only 1. But beta, all 8 are different. If you see, all of the 8 sites are different. So if you're using only 1 endonuclease, will it be able to cut all the 8 places? Will it be able to cut at all the 8 sites?
No, ma'am.
When we did palindrome sequence and we did cutting of endonucleases, we said if it is going to cut between A, G, it will cut only wherever it finds in A and G. So here all 8 sites are different. So if you need to cut this vector at 8 different places, you need how many types of endonucleases? 8 types. So each one will cut at its own one site, means it can be cut with 8 restriction endonucleases, but each will cut only one at a place. So this is the detail in the box about PBR322. In short, 8 restriction sites, 2 markers. Both of them are antibiotic resistant gene. If you remember, I told you we can use 2 types of markers. One is antibiotic resistant gene, and which was the other one?
Enzyme
producing gene.
So have we used enzyme producing gene, or both of them we have taken it as antibiotic resistant genes only?
Antibiotic.
Both antibiotic resistant.
And which 2 antibiotics have we selected?
Ampicillin and tetracycline.
Okay. So we are trying to say what all this PBR322 has. You should always mention it very clearly when this question comes. 8 restriction sites, 2 markers, both of them antibiotic resistant gene, ampicillin resistant gene, and tetracycline gene, 1 ORAE site and 1 ROP. This is a perfect vector because it has all features, also because it is small. Fine. And these names that you find they're all coming from different bacteria. Now, what I'm telling you, you don't have to learn this. You don't have to write it anywhere. It is not in your syllabus. But just HIN3, which is used, I'm telling you the names of the bacteria from where we have got these. You will only remember this. ECO R1, SAL1, PVU2, nothing to remember. This detail you will not go into. This you will not learn. HIN3, Haemophilus influenzae. Okay. And then we have BAM H1, Bacillus amylogen, SAL1 is Streptomyces albus, PVU is Protococcus vulgaris, PST is Providentius trashae, ECO R1, E. coli, and CLA1 is Caraphenol latum. You don't have to learn the name of these. You have to just learn what I shared with you. That is this part. Now tell me how to learn. Who will help me? First, let's learn first 4. Try to make sentences in Hindi. C, H, B, S, P. Again, P, P, P is coming 3 times, and then E. Can we have a sentence, somebody? Hindi sentence. Like, I'll give you a clue. Kal hum bahar se, kal hum bahar se, anything. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute. If somebody can plan so that we can learn this here itself. About this vector, we can prepare right now. Try, use, or if you want, you can prepare an English sentence also. I'm absolutely okay. The cat hid behind someone's personal, something like this. You can plan in English as well. I have just tried to do half of it. You can complete the sentence. The cat, let's start from here. Cat hid behind someone's personal. Tell me. Not getting the word after personal? Pink. Personal. Pink. Parrot. Can we have a bigger hand?
Purse.
Purse. Fine. Let's do. The cat hid behind someone's personal pink purse. We are left with two words. Something from E. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you people to learn. Purse.
Emitting.
Yes, beta.
Emitting.
Okay. Emitting. See, what was emitting? Chalo, it was emitting something what we don't know, but we can start like this. Cat hid behind someone's personal pink purse emitting. So cat, we are getting the first letter C. So you need to learn C is CLA1, B, BAM H1. This is the only way to revise and learn about these different sites. Otherwise, it's very difficult for you. Now, after you learn, you can learn CLA, BAM, SAL, PVU, and then these numbers are easier to learn. I'll tell you how. This is, you can start from here. BAM, you can start from here. So this will be 1, 1. It's easier. 1, 1, 2, 1. 1, 1, 1, 3. This so is easy. 1, 1, 2, 1 and 1, 1, 1, 3. You can start from BAM. The mathematical Roman numbers will go like this 1, 1, 2, 1 and 1, 1, 1, 3. It will be easier for you if you can learn it. I'm just giving you ideas. You can have your own original ideas. That would be always better if you plan your own ideas. So we are done with vectors. What are vectors? They could be DNA or RNA molecules which can go and replicate inside the host cell. Yes, bache, characteristics for an organism to behave like a vector, which is the first one.
It should be able to replicate.
Ability to replicate.
That means it should have which sites?
Ori
Oocytes.
Ori site. What does the word ori mean?
Origin.
of replication.
Okay. So this is the site where which process starts?
Replication.
Replication.
Very good, beta. Total, how many characteristics are there of vectors? Very
Five.
important.
Five.
Which is the second characteristic?
ROP.
Protein for replication.
ROP. What does the word ROP stand for?
Protein for
Protein for
replication.
replication.
This protein is very important because it goes and binds with
Oocyte.
ori site. And why does it go and bind with the ori site?
So that DNA polymerase can recognize it.
Yes, DNA polymerase will recognize. It is only after DNA polymerase comes that the process will start. And for identification, we need this protein. Good, children. Which is the next characteristic? The third characteristic is essential for a vector.
Selectable marker.
Selectable
One
markers. Yes, at least one to we should have. We can have more than one, but we should have at least one selectable markers. A gene which can be used as a selectable marker. We have normally two types of genes which are used as selectable markers. Which was the first one?
Antibiotic resistance.
Too good. We had used two antibiotic resistant genes when we prepared the first artificial vector, PBR322. Which two genes were used?
Ampicillin and tetracycline.
Very good. And which is the second kind of gene which can be used?
Enzyme producing gene.
Gene
Which is
that
the
produces genes.
most good children? Which is the most commonly used enzyme producing gene?
Lactate
Gene.
gene.
Yes, LAGZ. Which enzyme does it produce?
Beta galactosidase.
Beta galactosidase.
How do selectable markers help you?
For identification of
Yes, just to identify that yes, the gene that we had inserted has gone inside or not. Very good. Which is the next characteristic of a vector?
restriction site.
Restriction site. Restriction site is the site where who cuts?
Endonuclease.
Endonuclease.
It is always preferred to have how many restriction sites?
One.
One restriction site. Why should we not have more than one restriction site? What will endonuclease do then? And if we have the same restriction sites, then what will endonuclease do?
It will cut it many.
It will cut the vector into very many sites.
So it will cut at many sites, will get small pieces. What will get destroyed?
Ori site and gene of interest.
Yes, ori site will get destroyed, ROP and your markers will also get destroyed. So it's preferred that we should have only one restriction site. Okay, very good. Let's go further. Yes, Vache. Now we move on to the last characteristic. It should be
Small.
small. Why should it be
Small
small
in
in size? Why?
Because it's easier to handle small vectors.
You have one vector in your syllabus, very important. We'll pick up 10 years questions. You'll see how many questions come from this. The first artificial cloning plasmid prepared. What was the name?
PBR32.
PBR32.
What does P stand for?
Plasmid.
And B and R come from the names of?
Scientist.
B stands for?
Bolivars.
Good. And R stands for?
Broadrix.
And this number 322 is what?
Code name.
This is the code which is given to the plasmid. Very quickly, we still have a minute. Let's discuss about the structure of the plasmid in detail. How many restriction sites?
8.
8 restriction sites. Good. How many selectable markers?
2.
2. And both of them are which kind of genes?
Antibiotic resistant.
Antibiotic resistant.
What are the names of the 2 antibiotics?
Ampicillin and tetracycline.
Good. Very good. Then apart from these 3 things, we have 2 more things which you can see in the center in PBR 322, which are very, very important, which need to be there for a vector. What are they? See on the screens.
Ori
site
site.
and ROP.
Very good. Ori site and ROP. So in the box you have over here 8 restriction site, 2 markers, both antibiotic resistant gene, ampicillin and tetracycline. So this is a perfect vector because it has all features and also because it is what in size?
Small.
Small in size.
I'll post the PDF on the screen, but